Since we have a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. And Braden, do you want to do the roll call?
Yes. Just one moment. Commissioner Diana?
Here.
Commissioner Freeman?
Here.
Commissioner Silvas?
Here.
Commissioner Jones?
Here.
Commissioner Salam? All right, thank you.
So we have a quorum, and we'll begin the meeting with the second item on our agenda, which is to review the minutes of our April 27th meeting. And bless you. And the meeting minutes were provided in your packet. So I'll entertain a motion for approval of the minutes from April 27th.
I'll move to approve the minutes as written.
Since I was here, I guess I'll second it.
Okay, is there any discussion? Corrections, comments, discussion? If not, let's have a vote on that motion. All in favor, you'll say aye as Braden calls your name to approval of the minutes as written from April 27th.
Commissioner Diana?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
I wasn't here, so I'm going to abstain.
Okay.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Commissioner Silvas?
Aye. So the ayes have it and the motion carries, and we've approved the minutes from April 27th, 2021. Are there any additions to our agenda for this evening?
I don't have any.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. There's no one here to provide public input. I'm wondering, Braden, if there was any public input provided via email or mail.
There was not.
Okay. All right. So that takes us to item 5 on our agenda, presentations, which includes the staff report.
Yes, I'll be providing the staff report today.
Okay.
So we've had a busy month, like always, it seems like. So we just finished last week. We had our first round of monitoring from HUD. So HUD monitored our home program, specifically our tenant-based rental assistance program. So they did it remotely. So they requested, different documents that we have and reviewed different aspects of the program. And so that went smoothly. We were able to get some helpful feedback on, things that we can, maybe change up in the future just to make things run more smoothly. So it was a pretty labor-intensive process, but it was, we were able to complete it successfully. And then we're not done yet because coming up in July, we're going to be monitored again by HUD for the Community Development Block Grant. The coronavirus portion of that. So that'll be coming up in the next couple weeks. And then the other thing that I've been working on recently is Champaign County received 113 emergency housing vouchers, which that was part of I believe that was part of the American Rescue Plan. And so that they have not been announced yet. The Champaign County Continuum of Service Providers to the Homeless is working with the Housing Authority of Champaign County to come up with, how that program will work, because the Housing Authority and the Continuum will be working jointly to administer that. So I'm the vice chair of the Continuum, so I've been helping out with that process, but it's a really exciting opportunity because, 113 housing vouchers will go a long way in Champaign County. So, I'll keep you updated on that process. We hope to have it launched sometime this summer. There's a lot of things that need to go into that planning process, but that's something that that we have going on currently. In terms of other activities, Ann and I talked about this a little bit before the meeting started. Beginning in July, we will actually be going back to our in-person commission meetings. So this is our last virtual commission meeting. So I look forward to seeing you all in person for the first time. So beginning next month, I believe it's July 20, what's that date? July 27th. That commission meeting will be at the city building in Urbana. If any of you have any concerns or questions about that, let me know. I believe it would still be possible if someone wants to attend virtually, for health reasons. I believe that could be possible. I'm not sure, but let me know if you have any concerns about that.
Hey, Brady,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is Commissioner Freeman. I was wondering, since the city requires persons to be vaccinated, do we need to present our COVID card before we enter the building?
No, you do
No,
not.
okay then, all right.
Braden, here's a question that this return to the in-person meetings makes me wonder if someone were traveling or unable to be here for some reason other than health, which you just mentioned, would it be possible for them to attend virtually like we are now via Zoom?
I don't know, actually.
And I think we put that in our bylaws
I think we did too.
before COVID. So I think since it's already in our bylaws, that it would be allowed.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we did put that in, I recall, just for the reason of people being able to connect by a phone link. So
Mhm.
Right.
there'd be no reason why they couldn't, I wouldn't think.
Okay.
That's great to know. So yeah, if you are going to be traveling or anything like that, you can also just let me know. But so yeah, that'll be happening starting in July. And then another item in the staff report is this is more of a city update. The city is currently working on its comprehensive plan, and it's called Imagine Urbana. And I'll have to admit, I have a hard time saying that phrase. I always want to say Imagine Urbana, but it's Imagine Urbana. And so there's a pamphlet that's included in your packet that has some just different information about that process. They're holding a lot of events to try to gain feedback from the community on, what this plan should look like, what areas and activities they should prioritize. So there's a lot of good information there, and you're free to pass it on to, your networks, because again, the city really wants to generate discussion and engagement about what this comprehensive plan should look like. So starting in the fall, every resident will be getting a postcard, which will allow you to sign up for text surveys and things like that. So that information's in there. And then also there's information on the different events that they'll be holding, that the city will be holding throughout the summer as well. So it's a pretty interesting flyer. So again, I encourage you to share that in your networks and engage yourself as well. So that's in there too. And then really the last thing I have is just, again, reiterating that we've been, grants management staff has been attending a lot of different trainings. We've been, again, like I said, been going through the monitoring process. Sorry, I lost my place in my notes here. Yeah, our meetings have mostly stayed virtual, but they'll probably be going back to in person as well throughout the summer. So things are happening, and we're busy as always. But that's really all I have. If anyone has any questions, more than free to ask me or Sheila. We'd love to hear from you.
Braden, regarding the comprehensive plan update, is there a formal role for the Community Development Commission in providing input or providing some kind of access to the target communities that we work with most closely? Anything like that that we should be aware of as we think about gathering input or making people aware of the opportunity to provide input?
There is not at this point. This will be a couple years in the making, so that could possibly evolve in the future. I have not, at this point, they have not reached out, the team that's working on it. But again, like I said, I think they want to pursue all their options. So if that is something that we want to consider, we could certainly reach out. Because yeah, like I said, they really want to do their due diligence in making sure they reach out to every part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, Ann, at this point, I would say just share that information that Braden gave you with anyone that you know, so that we can get as broad base of comments and input as we can. The planning department has kind of taken the lead on this. So I'm sure they'll be reaching out to Braden if we need other committees to work on it.
Mhm. I've been on the website, and the website is really nice. It provides the detail of the timeline and a little bit of background information about what the comprehensive plan is. But I'm also thinking that, we've been thinking a lot about, where do people have access to sources of information that are available only online. And so those people who don't have good access, and I don't know if that there probably are those places in Urbana, but that those places might be affected by changes in the comprehensive plan. We should really make sure that, I know they're probably thinking of this, but there are probably some neighborhoods and pockets of the population where they've never really been much affected by the comprehensive plan. They, probably haven't paid much attention, but we should make an extra effort to make sure that they have ways to contribute, to learn about it and contribute other than just what's online.
I do know that the team that's working on this has partnered with Salt and Light, and that Salt and Light has been doing a lot of really good outreach. They've been holding in-person interviews, just again trying to get the community's feedback. So I think the group is really focusing on those partnerships in the community to kind of expand, who they can reach.
Yeah, would be a really good partner, Salt and Light.
I think that's one of those things that a lot of times there's outreach problems with the senior population. And that commission that I was a part of has been kind of dormant during COVID, like many things were, especially related to the university. But I'm suspecting that is going to get reactivated here shortly, and that would be a good venue or a good organization to connect with too, because that's exactly their purpose, is making sure that information like that gets to groups like seniors who have a tendency to be a little more isolated from online information and that sort of thing. So I'll make a note of that for when we get that started again.
Chris, what group is that again?
It's kind of a senior a commission on seniors in the areas. I was asked by the mayor to be part of that. It started a couple of years ago, or it's been going for a number of years. They connect through to senior services, whether it's living services, outreach. They're basically looking for ways, just exactly like what you're talking about, where as a group, seniors have a tendency to be disconnected from some of the more high-tech mainstream stuff these days. And so a lot of what it's involved with is ways to reconnect with that. It's set up through the university, and they've been doing a great job with that. So.
Hey, excuse me. I have an emergency. Someone has fallen out front of our church, so I have to leave. So can you guys excuse me?
Yes.
Okay,
Certainly.
thank you so much.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
Okay, any other comments on elements of the staff report that Braden just shared? Did you finish? I kind of circled us
did.
back
No,
around
you're
to
fine.
Mission
Yeah, that was-
Urbana. Okay,
That was all I had. Thank you.
okay. Okay, so is there unfinished, so I'm moving on to the next agenda item. Is there unfinished business before the commission this evening? Any unfinished business?
There is no unfinished business at this time.
Okay. And new business?
We don't have new business for you tonight.
Any other comments related to any items on the agenda before we adjourn? No. Okay, seeing as how we have exhausted all the items on our agenda, I call this meeting adjourned.